I know that a lot of you guys struggle with serving it too high, lack of control and consistency. So sometimes it's nice and high, sometimes it's really beautiful just above the net, and you just can't get it consistent. Hopefully I'll show you some of the basic foundation of what makes a good double serve. Hopefully you'll see it, the improvement when you go and you play double next. This technique that I'm showing you guys came from a BWF Level 2 coach that I've recently met. And the big things that they want to teach you, everything nice, set up and stable before you softly guide the shuttle over, right? So a lot of you, I know that you struggle because your grip is wrong. You're probably not using the backhand grip. You're probably using too big of a movement and also probably too much wrist. And people quite rush when they do the serve. So they will come forward. So there's no steady, there's no hold. And they just hit really fast. Why, if you watch, the more advanced player, a lot of them will steady themselves. They have a routine. That wasn't bad, was it? So hopefully in this video, I'll share some of these principles and trying to help you to improve your backhand serve for double. Step 1, how to hold your shuttle. This is your shuttle. To hold for the backhand serve, I like to tell people to hold on the feather end with 2 fingers or 3 fingers. Nice and soft. Don't squeeze the living light out of it, okay? Just nice and soft hold. Step 2, you want to position your hand so that the bottom, the cork, is roughly 1.15 meter. Once upon a time, it used to be below the waist. So that's your waist here. I am only 163 meters, so I know 1.15 is about up here. It's about my chest, the bottom of my chest. So if my hand is about my chest level, then the shuttle will definitely be below the 1.15. So you want to hold this there. And one of the things you have to learn is that this hand doesn't move up as you hit. Quite often you see people do this, where they raise their hand as they hit. And by the time they make the contact point, it's too high, right? So this hand, once you determine the height, you leave it there. The only thing it does is just to drop the shuttle, and that's it, okay? Now, the angle of the shuttle, some people like to hold like this. I can't do that. Whenever I hold with the shuttle towards me like this, and I serve, that one went over the net, but quite often it hits the net. It's actually quite hard to get the shuttle over the net when the shuttle is like this to you. I'm not used to it, so I can't really teach you that, but I know a lot of advanced players do. And the idea of holding it like this is that so that by the time you hit, you really spin the shuttle forward quite quickly, and then it will dip a lot faster. Why, if you hold like this, imagine if you hold just straight up and down when you hit, it tends to float a little bit more before it dips, which means the other player have a chance to attack on your serve. I like to tell people hold just as long as it tilts back towards you, about 45 degrees-ish. That's probably enough. You don't have to go all the way 90 degrees. If you can do it, amazing. But for beginners, novice, club level, I think about there will be enough. And just holding towards you will help to bring that shuttle down quite nicely. Feather, height, and slightly tilt towards you. The next step is your racket and the thumb grip, okay? Flat thumb grip, nice and relaxed. Don't squeeze it tight, nice and relaxed. Now I want this racket to be quite flat-ish. So, a common problem I see with club level is that they think, right now the shuttle below the net. It has to go up to go over the net. So what do? They tilt the racket up. By the time you hit, it's in the float, and the opponent will come and kill the shot quite easily, okay? So trying to have the racket quite flat, maybe to up it up a little bit if you feel not confident, but I like to keep my one quite flat. Okay, so now you got your shuttle, good height, tilt slightly towards you, the racket's pointing like this. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to position the cork of the shuttle to be about there. Not in the middle, but there. The reason why you want it here is that the tension of the string tend to be a lot tighter around the edge of the racket. And when it's tighter and there's less movement, you actually have more control. While this in the middle tend to have the most spring. So it's almost like a trampoline where it's sunk into the bed of the string bed and it'll get pushed out. So you actually have too much pushing by the string, and when you do that, you have slightly less control. So you want it to be about here, okay? And the other thing I want you to notice that my racket is below my hand. That's part of the rule. So once you're in this position here, if you can notice my stance, I'm right-hander. Right now my weight is on my back foot, my left foot, okay? Now, you're gonna transfer your weight from the left foot to your fourth to the right foot. Everything move except this racket hand. So if you watch, as I transfer my weight, this elbow bend a little bit to allow this racket to stay in the same position. Now as you can see, we now have a gap between the racket and the shuttle. Should do it again. And then after this, you just gently guide it forward. So if you do this and do this well, that shuttle will always connect the racket at the same point. Like, you don't even need to look at the shuttle anymore, because once everything is set up, the only thing you're going to look at is not the line on the other side, but the height, the tape height. So when you serve in double, you're trying to get the shuttle to be as close to this tape as possible, so then the opponent can't kill. As you get to more and more advanced level, not only it has to be just above the tape height, it also has to start dipping immediately after it crosses over the net. The really good player will make the top of the flight actually before it crosses over. So by the time it crosses over, it's actually already start dipping onto the opponent, which means even if the opponent is right next to the line and get ready, by the time they get there, it will always be below the net. And they always have to head up, whether a lift, a push, or a brush, right? But for clubs and social players, what you find is that the opponent, most of the time, they won't stand here with a racket like this and be really, really scary. Most of the time, they'll be back a little bit. So there's quite a bit less pressure on you to hit that perfect dipping, and beautiful height kind of serve. So for now, we just trying to make sure it's not like up here or anything like that, right? So you're gonna try to aim maybe about 2 shuttle height above the net. I got my shuttle, roughly that I feel that's quite safe to be below 1.15 meter. It's lightly pointed towards me. My weight's on my back foot, my left foot. The shuttle is at the top edge of the racket. From here, I'm gonna lean forward on my right foot. So my back foot, my left foot now is, it's kind of on its toe, on its ball. My eyes are now looking at the tapes of the net and not at the white line and not at the service line on the other side, and I'm not looking at the shuttle either, okay? So the idea, you don't need to look at the shuttle, you don't need to look at the racket and the contact point, and you just aim for that tape and just guide it over. That was a terrible serve, by the way. That went too high. As you can see, I'm just simply pushing it forward. Beautiful, yeah? And what you also find that as you do it nice and slow, the opponent kind of like, they get ready, they get ready. They get more anxious and probably more tight the longer they have to wait. But if you do it really fast, what happens then, they actually get into a rhythm of anticipating your serve. So learn to slow down, control it, and you're going to find that you're going to freeze the opponent where they are a lot easier as well. And I really like the technique that you're able to control and stop at every step of the way, and make sure you're really nice, comfortable before you hit. Said all the movement, 90% of that movement is the same between a soft serve and a flick serve. Please try these techniques and let me know in the comment below what you think about it. You know, whether it's helping you at all to achieve the consistency to help you to get better control of your serve. I always love to know if my content is even helpful, and if it is helpful, how is it helping people? So please comment below and let me know. And there's a lot more videos here for you to click on to help with your badminton journey. Thank you so much for watching. Squeeze that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much, guys. Have fun. Bye-bye.